Welcome back to the Elise Sarkov podcast. Today, I am going to be talking about really digging into that challenge that you likely need in your mindset. So, I say this often, but I want to validate that when you're in perimenopause, there's a lot of shifting that is happening, not just with your hormones, but likely your lifestyle, your identity. Maybe your kids are going off to university or college, or like mine, they might not be out of the house yet, but they certainly are becoming more independent. I remember the days that I had to, bath my babies and, get them ready for bed, make sure they brush their teeth, do all the things that really required me to really step in. Whereas now it's like, hey, I need you showered and ready for bed at blank time. And most of the time, honestly, my kids are in bed after me because I'm tired. But it's like the little things, even just taking them to where they need to be. Thank God for Uber right now. We have that going for us for those late night pickups or, hockey carpools, all the things. It's just slowly we find that like our kids need us less. And while it's so exciting at the beginning, and I remember when our kids were little babies, and Albert used to just say, I just can't wait for them to make themselves breakfast. That felt like such a big turning point. And if you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. That transition from when they used to like cry in their cribs and you had to like go get them, maybe brought them into bed with you, or you'd like set them up with breakfast and then go back to bed. I've always been an early riser. So for me, it wasn't a really big deal to get up with my kids. But um, Leia being my oldest, and at the time of this recording, she's 17, but she used to just come into our bed and snuggle and watch Dora. So that was great. Like we both, Albert and I could still sleep. She was happy in her bed, just watching TV. But when Nathan came along, when he woke up in the morning, he was like balls to the walls, ready to go. Typical boy. He actually didn't even like watching TV. He wanted to play. He wanted to eat. He wanted to do all the things. So it was a very different dynamic. And when they started to wake up in the morning by themselves, go downstairs, make themselves breakfast, watch TV, entertain themselves, it was like a whole new level of independence. And it's really exciting until you think to yourself, well, now what? And that might be where you are right now, where you're just like, okay, now what? Like my identity has shifted so much as a mom in the last 5, 6 years because my kids are getting older. And even like now, when I'm like, all right, guys, I'm done work. Tell me about your day. They're like on their phones or they're on the games. They're doing their shit. And they're just like, I want to fucking talk to you. I don't know about you, but if you have teens at home, they really want to talk to you like really super late at night when you're about to fall asleep. And that is when it's like, oh, this happened today or whatnot. So, there's a lot of changes that is happening in our needs or want as women, as moms, as a wife, as a partner, as a friend. Your friendships have changed. Likely, you are seeing your friendships go through divorces, remarriages, diseases, illness, loss of parents, all these things, aging parents. Like this shit is getting real. And we have to start changing our mindset. And the question that I love to challenge our clients is, what do you believe to be true that is not? So, for example, you might be someone who believes that you are, weight loss resistant. And I hear that all the time. Women come to me and they're just like, I'm weight loss resistant. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, you can't. And this is my classic analogy. I'm like, you mean to tell me if I took you to a desert island, just me and you, and I'm giving you a diet of 1,200 calories, just enough to basically stay alive, you're telling me that you are so fucking powerful, you're a special snowflake, that your body will not actually shed weight? It's going to hold on to it. Like, this is fucking genius. Like, we need to bottle that and give those to people who don't have access to food. All right. Prisoners of war would do very well in this situation. So, I think a lot of times we label ourselves and we believe we truly believe what we want to be true. I use this same story time and time again, but I think it's going to help you. I always thought I would never be able to run a marathon. It's not even I would never be able to. It was just like, I can't. I don't run marathons. I'm not built for it. Just can't do it. One of my best friends, she's totally built for it. She does Ironmans and marathons. She fucking crushes it. And I'm just like, yeah, that's not me. And then I remember I used to run 5K all the time. And then 5K became 10K. 10K became super easy. That I really got into half marathons. Half marathons became super easy. That I was like, what the fuck is next? And I thought, what? Wait a minute, Elise. What if I actually did it? What if I ran a marathon? Just to run a marathon so that I could prove to myself that what I believed to be true, my mindset wasn't actually true. Like, wow. And I ran the marathon. And when I crossed the finish line, I got a beer in my hand. Don't ask. I drank it. I threw that up. That was a stupid thing. But I started crying as I crossed the finish line. And the reason I was crying, not because, thank the fucking Lord, I'm done this stupid thing I'm never going to do again, but it was because I just proved to myself that what I believe to be true is not. And I thought, really, honestly, this was such a pivotal moment in my life, 2017, where I thought, there is nothing that I can't do because I have just proven years and years and years of beliefs cracked down in 4 hours. What else can I do? Never in a million years thought I was capable of making money. Never thought I was capable of being the breadwinner supporting my family. Never thought I would be capable of leading a team. Doing business. Business isn't for me. I work in fitness. I'm the youngest in my family. I'm the talented one. My brothers are the smart one. I'm the talented, cute one. I'm the one that, whatever it is, whatever I believe myself to be true, I have changed all of that. So I want you to think about something that you believe to be true about yourself. Now, there are going to be some things that you are not going to be able to change. I am 5'1" on a good day. I can believe that I'm 5'4" or 5'5". I don't even know what it would be like to be 5'6", but like, I can believe that to be true. That shit's not going to happen. That is just a part of who I am. All right. I'm not going to fucking get taller. I'm Canadian. That's never going to change unless I move to another country, but I'm still going to be, Canadian, born in Canada. I'm Jewish. That's never going to change. That is part of my identity. But being, the housewife or the stay-at-home mom or the chubby one or the one who's weight loss resistant or the one who is a yo-yo dieter or nothing ever lasts more than, a month with me, or I sabotage all my relationships. Like, what do you believe to be true? That's not. And imagine how much your life will change if you could just tell yourself another story. And that's what I want you to do is I want you to start asking yourself, and this is what I actually do with my kids, swear to God, is I say, is this fact or fiction? So for example, if someone said to me, hey, Elise, like, you can't run a marathon. Is that a fact or is that fiction? Like, can you physically not run it? And I'm like, no, I could physically run it. Like, I could do it, but I just can't do it. It's like, okay, so that's not a fact. That's fiction. The fact is that I am 5'1". That's not fiction. Like, that is actually true. When my kids are struggling with something, or my daughter is like, oh my God, I'll never be able to, pass this test. I'll never be able to, whatever. I'm like, is that a fact? What facts do you have to support that? Like, let's talk this out for a second. So when you say I'm weight loss resistant, what facts do you have? Or I have high cortisol. I'm hyper stressed. What facts do you have to support that? When a client comes to me, especially when they're new into the program, they always say to me, I probably have high cortisol levels because I'm all stressed out. And I'm like, what facts do you have to support that? And they're like, I'm just stressed all the time. I'm like, all right, let's do some blood work. We see the blood work. Cortisol levels are somewhat normal. And I'm like, fuck, guess what? You don't have a cortisol problem. You have a lifestyle problem. And if you keep going, then you're going to have a cortisol problem, but you came to me first. So we are good. So we can change that, right? So that's fiction. You believe that to be true. And just because you've told yourself something is true, listen up, does not make it true. I'm going to say that again. Just because you've told yourself that something is true does not make it true. If you have a pen, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see I have a highlighter in my hand. This highlighter is yellow. Okay. And I'm going to believe that it's yellow and I'm going to say that it's yellow. But what if when I start writing it, it is pink? Then what? Right? I believe it to be true, therefore it is. But is it? Okay. So just because you believe something to be true doesn't actually make it true. Like, that should be a whole mind fuck in itself right there. But if you can take that into your life and say, what if I'm not weight loss resistant? What if I am just resistant in my mindset? And I can shift that around, because here's the thing, the mind is so powerful. The body will follow. You're just having it flipped. You're like, my body controls me. Actually, no, your mind controls you, because what you believe to be true will be true if you allow it. So we have a woman in our community, for example, she has lost 50 pounds and she has completely changed her body. But when you think of her, and if I showed you a picture, you wouldn't be like, wow, she's so, the like long-term version. She's wearing crop tops. She's got like, no fat on her body. No, this woman was a woman who was chronically yo-yo dieting, who was over 200 pounds, was very overweight, and had always identified as the chubby one because her whole life she was, in her definition, chubby until we cracked her belief. We actually were like, show us facts. Show us that. Show me a fact. Like, let's dig into that. And what do you know? She's 50 pounds down. She's looks incredible. She's proven to herself that all that she believed to be true is not. And now she's going to continue on with the rest of her life, 50 years old, thinking, what else the fuck can I do? Maybe in a friendship, you're like, I'm the responsible friend. I'm the designated driver. I'm the one that calms my friends down. And you've taken on that role. You might have accepted that role in your nuclear family. So maybe like you're the middle child, you're the peacekeeper. Maybe you're the older one. Maybe you're the rebel. Like me, I'm the one probably more of like the black sheep in my family. No one is surprised that I have all these tattoos. No one's surprised that I've got like a filthy mouth that says fuck all the time. It's kind of like that's the role that I've assumed. And so everyone believes that to be true, right? But what if, I don't know, my brother decides to get a tattoo? I think honestly, everyone in my family would just fucking like fall over. But I mean, it could happen, right? Like if we believe it to be true, doesn't actually fucking make it true. So I want you to take this with you and I want you to start challenging yourself. Think about this every single day from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. When you make your breakfast, when you get ready for work, when you get your shit together with your kids, your parents, your grandkids, whatever it is that you're doing, when you're making your meals for the afternoon, when you're walking outside, when you're doing your workouts, like what do you believe to be true? I can never do a pull up. The fuck you can't. We can teach you how. I'll never be able to lose weight. The fuck you can't. We can teach you how. I'll never be able to build muscle. The fuck you can. We'll teach you how. So all those things, I want you to start really challenging yourself. And I promise you, your life will change. And if you need more help in getting there, because it is so hard to do in your own, I really welcome you into our community. We have lots of freebies. I'll link them below. You can join my Facebook group is free. I got lots of freebies on my website. All links are below. And if you're someone that is like, no, I fucking need support of someone who understands, gets me, who's done this before, who has a guaranteed way of doing this for results, then I want to talk to you more about how our 90-day for function hormonal renewal will 100% change your life. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me know how this resonates with you. I'd love if you can just leave me a review, girl. Okay. That would really honestly fucking help me out and help the podcast grow. Or better yet, just go ahead and share this on your social, tag a friend, and let her listen to it as well. I know it's going to help. Have a good one.